Hi, this is Fish and welcome to Fish Picks. Today I have an unboxing video, but with a twist. Curious? Well, let's get into it. One of the unexpected boons of running a channel like this is that I occasionally receive care packages from ridiculously generous subscribers who send me Locksport booty to play with. In this case, a big shout out to Pix from the US, who sent me a bunch of really interesting locks. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think there's anything inherently interesting in just me showing you my growing collection, so instead I thought we'd try something a little different, and to that end, you are officially invited to take part in Pix's Locksport quiz. That's right, fingers on the buzzers, and let's see how many of the following questions you can get right. No conferring, and I'll go through the answers at the end. Question number 1. This wonderfully engraved 1100 clone has been pinned by Pix with a series of homemade security pins, and I've had to progressively pin it to even come close to getting an open. So far I've managed to open it with 5 pins, but not all 6, so it's an ongoing project. And the question is this. The lock body and core are from an ABUS 7240, but what does ABUS stand for? Question number 2. This lock also has an ABUS core, even though the branding is for Brady, but this one is key retaining. It has a soft nylon body and it has 5 pins, even though it's considerably smaller than its larger cousin, the Masterlock 410 lockout tagout. But can you identify what it is that makes this lock different to the 410 and why you needn't worry about joining the Rattle Club with this model? Question number 3. This is an American A30, quite a vintage model now with some really lovely script and detailing on the lock body. But which of the following key profiles would be most likely to fit this lock? Question number 4. Some of you may recognise that this is a Masterlock M1, so a two-part question this time. How many pin stacks does this lock have? And for a Brucey bonus, can this be tensioned and opened in either direction or only clockwise? Question number 5. This tiny 3-pin lock is manufactured by a company which was based in Illinois before it was acquired by Masterlock in 2003. What's the brand? Question number 6. This Yale lock is likely close to 100 years old, and Pix has fully restored the core and the pins, turning it into a challenge lock. I haven't yet had a go at this lock in anger, but when I do, how will I need to tension it to stand the best chance of achieving an open? Question number 7. What is this lock designed to hold securely? Question number 8. The US company that produces this key-retaining 6-pin lock prides itself on the fact that up to 70% of its components are eco-friendly. In fact, their URL begins with their 4-letter name followed by greenproducts.com. Can you name the lock brand? Question number 9. Pix also sent me a small packet of these. What might these be used for in Locksport? And finally, question number 10. Tell me one interesting fact about this lock. And if you owned this, would you restore it and remove the rust, or would you leave the patina in place? So there you go. A generous 10-part gift, but how did you fare in the quiz? Ready to find out? Okay, here we go with the answers. Number 1. ABUS is an acronym of August Bremeke und Sohn, or August Bremeke and Son, reflecting the company's German origins, it having been founded back in 1924. Number 2. The thing that makes this small key-retaining ABUS different from the Masterlock 410 is that it is guttable and therefore repinnable, which is a handy additional feature. The core is held in place by a sprung detent which can be released from inside the shackle cavity. Number 3. The correct key for this lock was C, because this is a double-sided wafer design. 4. The Masterlock M1 has 4 pin stacks and may only be tensioned and opened clockwise. 5. The brand of this tiny lock is American, which was of course the company acquired by Master Lock in 2003. 6. This Yale lock will need to be tensioned vertically rather than by applying rotational torque, because the shackle release employs a push mechanism. Typically, when I've seen this demonstrated, people use a screwdriver like the one that I'm demonstrating here. 7. This lock is designed to secure a motorcycle helmet, although I'll of course accept scooter because I'm generous like that. Number 8. This key retaining eco lock is manufactured by Zing, so it's zinggreenproducts.com. 9. These are of course buffing wheels used to deburr and polish picks and other tools, and if you didn't see last week's episode, I did a review of a mini lathe that this would work perfectly with. And finally, the answer to number 10, well, it was a bit of a trick question. I asked you to tell me something interesting about this lock because I actually know nothing at all about it. Pix enigmatically just invited me in an attached note to close the shackle and let the fun begin. But what kind of a lock is this? How old is it? And if it were yours, would you de-rust and restore it? Or do you think that the patina of locks like this are part of their charm? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments. And talking about the comments section, let me know how you got on in the quiz, but also tell me if you enjoyed this way of presenting an unboxing. Should I repeat this format in the future? I'd be interested to hear what you think about that. And finally, before I sign off this week, I'd like to say a big thanks to Pix for providing such an interesting mix of locks, but I also thought I'd share the love a little. So if you'd like the chance to own any one of these locks, then let me know which one you'd like the chance of winning, and in a couple of weeks' time I'll pick out a comment at random, and whichever of these you've named, I'll send it your way. And no, you don't need to have scored full marks in the quiz to participate. After all, it's the taking part that counts. Thanks for joining me this week, and until next time, take good care.